listen up, y'all. It's the queen of automation, Megan Donnelly, here to give you inspiration. Founders and business owners gather round. I'ma show you how to build systems that'll astound. Streamline your processes, no need for complication.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Queen of Automation podcast, where we talk about why technology is only good when it works and how I help you make it work. I'm your host, Megan Donnelly, and today we're lucky to be chatting with Daniel Intorella. Hopefully I didn't totally butcher your name. The owner and founder of Fuel and Fortitude, a virtual health and wellness coaching business, helping executives design workouts that fit into their busy lives. Did I say that correct? I'm
Beautiful.
sure I totally butchered your name.
Beautiful.
That's okay.
I might steal it and put it on my banner.
All right, awesome. Well, welcome. I want you to jump on, tell everybody about who you are, what you do. We were talking about this a little bit, offline in the green room, but I want you to say it now for everyone so they can hear all about the passion project, as you call it, the side hustle, because he's got 2 gigs. Take it away.
Absolutely. So thanks for having me, Megan. I feel like we've been playing a furious game of ping pong for many weeks here. So happy to be here.
Finally made it.
Yes. Technology is on our side today. So yes, Daniel Intorella, virtual health and wellness professional, personal trainer, nutritionist. I help lead executives to essentially, I take my life. I have chronic kidney disease, and I know what I've done with my life and what I can do. So helping others, show them that it's possible. My kidney function is 20%. And, my day-to-day, as Megan had mentioned, 2 jobs. So what you see on LinkedIn is my personal training, my passion project, my what I love to do. My side hustle, becoming my front hustle. But my full-time, I'm in the produce industry for 25 years. So around fruits and veggies, it ties into my personal training, the nutritionist. I've done well in the industry. But also fitness and now coaching is my passion that I would like to be in my latter part, my next stage of life.
Yeah.
So that's basically where I come from. So where I'm at LinkedIn is just showing people what's possible, what you put in your body matters, what you drink, what you eat.
Yeah.
Visually, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, it's all tied together. I'm more holistic in my approach. It's not about just sets and reps. It's about, and not restricting. It's about reducing, not completely saying, I can't ever eat this cake. I can't ever have a brownie, a cookie. Yes, you can. You just don't have to eat as much of it as maybe you used to.
Don't eat it every day for breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little protein in there. So it's about reducing, not restricting. That's really what I really try to push, because people get caught up, right? Food is very, I've worked in food for 20 plus years, so food is very personal. It can carry a lot of baggage for some. I've worked with women post menopausal, and I've worked with high performing executives in their 30s, and it's different for everybody. It truly is. It's not a diet. It's just about making healthier choices and what works for you. What works for me may not what works for Megan, and vice versa.
Yeah. I love, so one of the things that this is why this is such a good fit to have you on here and talk to our audience, because what I love in your tagline on LinkedIn, you're building lifestyles, right? And we talk about this a lot on this show. I don't know if you've followed or watched any of the other episodes with Darren and all these guys. One of the things that I always start with, and we're going to start with it right now, is talking about work-life balance. I don't believe it exists. I think that it's all life, and we should be building a lifestyle. We're not building careers. We're not building jobs. We're building a lifestyle. And that includes health and fitness, right? So the fact that you're on here pushing that is just so cool, because it's all life. It's all life. It's all combined. We're not, sometimes we're working on personal stuff. Sometimes we're working on work stuff. Sometimes we're doing health and fitness. Sometimes but it's all the same life. We don't have different lives. It's not like our business life and our personal. No, it's one life, whether you're working corporate or you're not working corporate. So I would love to hear your take on that and how you kind of put yourself in with the executives and how you handle that conversation, because I think that too many executives try to like separate it. And I think that's where a lot of stress happens, because you can't really separate yourself. Like there's only one you. As far as I know, unless, people are
Right.
doing funny stuff, like I'm not really sure what's going on there, but there's only one you, and your personal life and your business, it's all one.
Yeah, like you said, it's one continuum, right? And
Mhm.
you hear a lot about balance. We need balance, and it's like you. I agree. There's no such thing as balance. It's ebbs and flows, and for me, it's creating a playbook is looking at your bookends. Everybody has a start, and everybody has an end to their day. So what is going on in between that is where I really take a look at whether it's front loading, back loading, and maximizing your time. And are you really that busy, or are you getting stuck in the busyness of life and thinking you have to do all
Mhm.
this stuff when really just having a simple sustainable process, and a lot of it is the mundane repeating of the same thing over and over, and that is the hard part for most people. I find just being stuck, not even stuck, that's a poor choice of word, but doing the daily regimented task. And
Yeah,
that's gonna
habits.
get, yeah, forming habits, which creates discipline. So for me, for instance, I wake up at 3:45 a.m. I'm in bed by 9 p.m. That's my start, my end of my day. So what am I doing in between that? Well, I have to work. I'm working from 5 to 1:30 in the afternoon, produce, taking care of my horses for about an hour. I'm usually home around 3:30. Okay, now that's Dan time. That's LinkedIn, that's creating content, that's working out, that's making my dinner, that's prepping my breakfast. It's
Yeah.
just taking care of my dog, husband, laundry, house, life, whatever happens. By 8 o'clock, I'm on the couch till 9 o'clock. That's my 1 hour of TV. 9 o'clock, we're in bed. Repeat. 3:45
Yep.
a.m. Dan's up for work. Breakfast by 4. And I also have like a morning stack, so it might be different for everybody, but it's wake, breathe, stretch, water, breakfast, all by 4 a.m. That's just building, small, simple wins, but it's just a routine that works for me. And everybody, it's just finding that process and what works for you.
Here's a question for you, and I've actually never asked this question, so this is a cool conversation for me. So because food is hard when you're an executive, right? Because you're usually like, especially for like the high performing executives like you're working with, like these people. I remember I was there, right? Like I'm not doing corporate anymore, but when you're a high performing executive and you're in an organization where it's all on your shoulders, it's like you forget to eat. And that's not, it's not even that you're forgetting to eat. You either don't have time, so you're eating whatever's in the vending machine in the break room or whatever your assistant brings you, or like, or you're ordering out food. And now granted, you can order salad, you can get healthy food ordered, whatever, but generally it's not that, right? Like usually you're just ordering whatever is on the menu. And so how do you coach these executives through that? Like, how do you fit food into their ridiculous lifestyle in a way that they can form the good habits? Because I'm sorry, I'm not waking up at 3:45 in the morning. Like, more power to you. I wake up at 6, and I try to do it year round, summer and or school with the kids, but I can't quite go that early. I, usually like 5:45, 6 o'clock. But it's still a habit, right? Like, like I still have to, and I'm not perfect at it. And I'm sure well, maybe you probably are extremely. I am not perfect at it. Like I try 6 o'clock every morning, but you know what? There are mornings where I'm like, forget this. Like I don't have a meeting until 10. I'm not getting up. And try really hard not to do that, obviously, but yeah. So back to the original question, like how do you do that? Like how do you get them to form those habits with food, and how do you like work it into their lifestyle? Like what are you telling them to do?
Right. So what I'll do is, upon having, the interaction with them, they decide to work with me, I always blast out a 24-hour food log. Ideally, I'd like to say 3 days, but it's
Yeah.
24-hour food log, and it's not to judge, it's not to critique, it's not to like oh, why are you eating that? It's to basically say, be honest, and what are you eating? So
What are you putting inside your body?
exactly. So I
Yeah.
have a ballpark of, hey, red flags right away. Most often, you're not eating enough. People like are really concerned with eating too much or too much of the wrong food, but you're not even eating enough. And like I did a post a few weeks ago about there's no moral label on food. It's not good or bad. It's just some food is more nutrient dense than others. You know,
Yeah.
2 donuts or you're going to eat something else that's got loaded with vitamins and minerals. Getting that touch point of what they're actually eating consistently, and if you think about it, most of us eat a lot of the same foods throughout the week, every day. It's unless you go out for dinner, maybe you're the
Mm-hmm.
executive who has many out, dinners or parties. Then you're going to be eating all different foods.
Right.
I always say if you can cook or you're somewhat comfortable in the kitchen, that's a game changer because you can control the ingredient list. You control basically, essentially, the salt, all the preservatives. If you can cook, I've had many clients that can cook, and it's like saving grace because you control exactly what's in your meal. You know what you're putting into it. The ones that don't, then obviously there's a little bit more work involved. Just making healthier, conscious decisions, knowing the labels and what they mean, what they stand for, and then prioritizing that into their life by making simple little shifts. Like I know meal prepping for me used to stress me out. Like I just thought like meal prepping, that seems like it's going to be very tedious, very time consuming, but it can be as simple as you make it. Like for me, my meal prep. So after dinner, we make enough dinner so there's enough for lunch the next day. So my dinner, my leftover becomes my lunch the next day, saving money. I know I've made it, so I know what's in it. And after I'm done cleaning the kitchen, the dishes, putting everything away, I go immediately into prepping my breakfast, which is 2 eggs beaten in the Tupperware because waking up at 3:45 a.m. Who wants to break out eggs, a frying pan, knife, everything? I literally have that laid out the night before I go to bed. So I come in the morning, take my eggs out of the fridge, olive oil, eggs, veggie, whatever I have, Ezekiel toast, it's literally like a 5 minute process because I've already done it the night before. So it's just about maximizing your time and prioritizing and just making little shifts, which help because I've already nailed out breakfast and now lunch. So I make dinner fresh every night. So
And
those
that
are your
then
meals.
becomes your lunch or your lunch for the next day. So do you hear this, guys?
Right.
This right here, this is a system. We talk about operations, we talk about systems and putting them into your business. All right. So you're the business, your body is the business. And what he's giving you right now is a system, to run the business and make it healthy and make it streamlined and make it optimized. That's exactly what he's doing. So this is such a cool conversation because, again, people automatically think that business operations, digital operations, is software. It is not. It is the processes and the systems and the software that you put in place into your business that help you run it smoothly, which is exactly what Daniel's doing with your body. You're putting in the processes and the food and the system in place to run your body smoothly. If people would think of everything in their life, right, business or personal, as a system, it would be so much easier. Like, and maybe that's super geeky and some people can't do that, but that's how I think of everything. Exactly what you're talking about is a system. You're helping people form a habit, right,
Right.
of meal
Maybe
prepping, which I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm horrible at meal prepping. I don't do it, and so don't do what
yeah.
he says and
No.
not what I do.
Two
It's
years
not
ago, I
good enough.
didn't even
Um,
like.
well, and I live with 3 teenage boys, so it's a completely different world because they are not going to eat what I want to eat, which I want
Right.
to eat healthy things, and they want to eat, boxed crap. So ignore me and do what he says. But it's just so cool listening to you talk because that's exactly what it is, right? Like it is a system for your body, and it is the process. And so tying it back to like the business part of things, software is only one part of your operations. Systems can be people, systems can be an SOP, like a standard operating procedure, a step by step by step. of what you just said, like this is how you go throughout your day and then you do it again the next day, that's the
Right.
same thing that you apply to your business. You put systems and processes in place, whether that's using another human to help you, like as an assistant or a VA or a copywriter or whatever your team is, or a software to automate, right? It's outsource, automate, or eliminate. Those are the three things that you think about when you think about systemizing your business and systemizing anything, any kind of part of your life. So I would love to hear, because you're coming from both, like two different worlds, right? Like I wouldn't necessarily say produce is corporate, but yeah, we'll call that your corporate job, right? Like you're coming from, you have this job here, but then you're stepping into your own personal business. Let's talk about how you run this business. How are you, I know you're using LinkedIn, obviously, because we're
Right.
in the same community and the same networking group. Let's talk about your ops for a minute. So here you are helping people kind of systemize their relationship with food and health and wellness. How are you handling kind of the ops side of your own business? Is it just a simple, LinkedIn, or are you doing more than that? Like, what are you doing? Tell us all about it.
So
This is my
my
fun.
this is your fun.
I
I
love
so
it.
I came to LinkedIn almost a year and a half ago, looking to touch up my resume because I was going to go back into training in person. But something was telling me avoid the road
Yeah.
because I'm going to get burnt
Don't
out.
do
And at
it.
that point, I stopped listening to music so much and started listening to podcasts. I'm not a big reader. I listened to podcasts on my way to work. I was just got immersed. Brendan Bouchard, Eric Thomas, Ed Milet, just many different voices and hearing many different things. Got entrepreneurial, checked out LinkedIn, fell into the pond, and came up from the basement after working on, like, to my husband, I think I'm going to start my business, online personal training, nutrition, and the whole name, everything like that. He came to him in like 15 seconds, and me, I was just like, what am I going to call it? So, yeah, and then just went to LinkedIn and learned, like everybody iterates and sees things. And my LinkedIn was very corporate looking, like it was just job posts and
Yeah.
the ones I'm talking about. And then little by little, as you meet and you engage and comment, you create your feed, just like you can edit your feed, edit what you eat, consume what you consume, what you see, and met certain people and just started going there and building my voice, building my brand, and had no idea what CRM, ICP, any of that was a year ago, 12, 13 months ago.
Right.
I literally Googled, one of my tabs on my computer probably still is the page like business terms. It's just like ICP, what is that? So,
You don't know what you don't know. And it's
yeah, I felt
one
stupid,
of
but
those
you don't
things
know what
where,
you don't know. And I
yeah.
did not go to college for business, criminal justice. Hello, I'm not using that degree. Nobody in my family is entrepreneurial, just nurse, and like there's no business people in my family. So I'm like the first to a degree. I'm like, I just got to figure this out on my own, and then just meet people along the way. Um, and that's kind of just how I learned. I put it together brick by brick. And as far as my strategy, just said, I engage. I love people. I love talking to people. I work in the public retail space for 20 plus years. I'm around hundreds of different people every day, from the 80-year-olds to the teens to the single moms down. Like, I just am around many different people. And I just can fit into any one group, I feel. So as far as my posting and what I do, I look to monetize on LinkedIn and
Yeah.
just share my story. So I have chronic kidney disease. My kidneys function at 20%. And I self-branded myself the kidney health coach initially because I thought that was going to be my area. It's very
Yeah.
super niche, and I've had conversations from people all over the world. Families in the UK with their son who's only 10 years old has chronic kidney disease. They reached out to me. So the power of this platform and LinkedIn and what it's done is just like mind blowing. But then I think people were seeing that I only work with people who have acute kidney dysfunction, and
Right.
I'm like, no, that's not just who I work with. That would be my ICP initially, but I've had conversations. I've met with people. They have decided not to work with me for whatever reason. But so that was like a sign. Okay, that's not the road I'm going to go down to. And having a very active lifestyle myself, and in having the clients that I've now had, whether they're flying 2 weeks out of the month, the other 2 weeks they're home. I build
Yeah.
playbooks for home. I build playbooks for away. Essentially, what you have at home. Some of my clients work out at home. I build the programs around your specifications, what you have. Like, Megan, what do you have at your house? And then when Megan flies away for 2 weeks in Florida, whatever it might be, she may be at the gym, the hotel gym. Then I kind of know what you already have there. They basically have everything for the most part. And then I just plug and play and put together the program. And so it keeps it seamless. So it's not like, oh, I'm going away for 2 weeks. I can't work out. I won't be able to do anything. No, like, where are you staying? What do you have? Let me know. In the app that I use to house all my clients is Trainerize. So it's a big hub of just thousands of curated workouts, videos, and I put them all together.
Yeah.
And I'm putting in the sets and the reps, and it's specified to your goals, what you're looking to achieve, whether it's hypertrophy, endurance, whatever it might be. And there's two-way messaging, so it's very just like this. We hop on a Zoom call once a week. I like to have that weekly check-in, because what you measure, you can manage. And I can see exactly what they're doing or not doing. Like, if they haven't logged food, logged
And
the
that's all in
workout.
the app. That all lives inside the app. So you're
Yep,
using the
all.
app too. Okay. That's
Yep.
very cool.
Just like you would send a LinkedIn DM, it's Trainerize is an app. It's a free app. And there's two-way messaging within Trainerize, which obviously I like to use that because it's all for the training.
Yeah.
You can take before and after pictures. You basically get your digital calendar. Oh, what's Dan had me working out today? Today I'm doing, XYZ, ABC. I can literally
Let's
see
talk
if
about the flow for a second, if you don't mind, because this is really cool. So I think that a lot of people forget that LinkedIn is the avenue in which you're talking to people, right? Like, that's your soapbox, right? You're standing up and
right.
talking to people, and everybody's listening. Now, if you don't mind sharing, like, the flow, how are you getting people? Like, let's say, how are you converting people? How are you taking people from your LinkedIn conversations to I'm assuming, into the DMs, like instant messages, and then like, you're just taking their emails and signing them up? Is this a manual process for you to kind of go through the steps?
So there has been, I mean, I have a CRM. So just say I post something.
Right.
Depending on what I'm deciding to do with that post, my post yesterday was very targeted, and I'm actually talking to my ICP, talking to the high performing executives.
Yeah.
It all depends, like, what avenue I want to go down to, right? If I'm looking for likes and engagement, or I'm being more targeted, and my CTA is stating, hey, I have this healthy habits guide that I blast out to all my clients. DM me healthy, DM me whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
They DM me, I capture the email. From that, I have an email built. And on the healthy habits that I actually send them for free, like, they reach out, they're going to send it. The bottom of that healthy habits is other ways you can improve, or other ways to habits you can build, and then I'll
All
attach.
automated, right?
Yes, if you'd like to have a Zoom call,
Yeah.
for a free discovery call, I don't really push anything. I just suggest and I throw it out there. Even in my post, although yesterday's post, I basically said, when you're tired of this cycle, repeating the cycle, message me. So
Yeah.
it all depends, like, where
You
you
heard
want to
it
go.
though. You heard it. This is this, but you led me down the path that I wanted you to lead me down. Again, another person. CRM, people, you need a CRM, you need a single source of data, you need a place to house all of your clients, all of the people that you are talking to, all of your customers, one single source of data, truth.
Right?
And a
Because
CRM is that.
we rent space on LinkedIn, right? And that's
Yeah.
something I didn't really think about many months ago. But hearing other people, like, we're all renting space
It's
on
all
LinkedIn.
rented
I
space.
use LinkedIn. Like I say, I drive down LinkedIn Boulevard, and that's my storefront, my digital storefront. That's where I
Yeah.
advertise. That's where I post. But how you connect is, your CTA is very important. If you like my vibe, you like how I am, let's jump on a free discovery call. I'm happy to do that. And then from
Well,
there,
and what's super cool is, and I don't know what CRM you're using, but what's really cool is once you get people. So this is very cool for Daniel, because once he gets people into his CRM, he now has the ability to email them, text them, and he can do automated promotions. He can do, I mean, once you get somebody into a system, right? Into a place where you're not on rented land, you have the ability to talk to that audience and pretty much do whatever you want with that audience because they're in your house now, right? Instead of playing in rented space. So LinkedIn goes away till tomorrow. Daniel can send out an email to every single one on his email list and say, hey, listen, we're just going to jump on his, LinkedIn's down. We're going to have a call. He can use his iPhone. It doesn't really matter. But
right.
getting people into a CRM is like the best way for you to build your business sustainably, because once all of these things go away, you have no way of talking to anybody, which is a really bad thing.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I have the CRM. I mean, I can say who they are. It's not a big deal, right? I use HubSpot. So that's just when I first got into LinkedIn. Like I said, you meet certain people, and the guy I met at the time,
Yep.
he's like, "Oh, I have HubSpot," and if you worked with them or whatever it was,
It's great for automations.
I'm like, okay, so I have HubSpot, and yeah, and then the things you learn, like when you put it into your feature tile section, take out the description because you don't
Yep.
want to create friction. You want it to be, people have a few seconds and their brains are going to start looking somewhere else. So if you create a lot of barriers or extra clicks,
3 seconds. You have
right?
3 seconds to capture somebody's attention, whether it's on your website or landing page or social media. And it's even less when you think of the doom scrolling. You've got even less than 3 seconds for those hooks. So
Totally.
if you're hooking people in and you want them to actually look at your shit, it better be good, because you got like 1.5 seconds as they start scrolling through stuff, and there better be a really pretty photo or a video because they don't give a shit.
It's a lot. I'd say
Plain simple. They do
there's a
not
lot of
care.
moving parts. Just like in
Yeah.
fitness, it's a lot of moving parts from the
Yeah.
nutrition. It's not just the work, the exercise, the working out. It's people get focused on the number on the scale, but how are you breathing? How are your energy levels? Do your clothes fit better? Are you feeling
Yeah.
happier? Like your mood? I mean, there's so many different moving parts that go along with it. And then talking about the creation on LinkedIn and the content and the engagement strategy and posting and the CTA and the hook better be good. Is your picture like
There's so many parts and pieces. It can be super overwhelming. Well, this has been really, really cool. We're a little over time, but that's okay because this was such a great conversation. I want to give you time, though, to tell the audience where you are, how they can find you, the best way to contact you, and reach out to you if they want to learn more about your coaching program and just you in general. I'm assuming he's going to say LinkedIn.
Good guess. So yeah, literally find me LinkedIn. That's my mainstay. That is my main home. Daniel Intorella.
We'll drop the link in the show notes, and make sure that people can link directly to you. And that is a wrap. And remember, technology is only good when it works. We will see you next week, people. Bye.
Later.